Hello farmers, welcome back to the Pacific Northwest. As you can see, we're down in the grass field. The grass has been mowed. I actually made a course from Course Play, so I don't have to do it. Why is it taking me this long to do it? Because, well, I'm stupid, for one. And yeah, I don't know, I just haven't done it. But now it has been done, so now I can come in here. I want to see how the baler is going to react. Let's go in here. Not copy course. I need to go in here. Grass field. Let's go ahead and load that course here. And let me go ahead and turn this on just to make sure that's down. I think it's up. I think it's unfolded. Drive course. Let's see how it does. That can bale awfully darn fast. That might be a glitch, because I don't think that baler can bale that fast. Now I'm curious. Let me go into baling technology. Of course, it's a modded one that we do have, so I gotta find it. Is it this one? Yeah, it should only bale at 18 miles an hour. And we're doing 24. I mean, that's fine. I mean, you'll get the job done. That's for darn sure. I'm gonna let it go like that just to see how it goes, but it is leaving a little bit behind here and there. Wait, I need to stop this. That might be going too fast, and the machine just can't pick it up. That is just way darn too fast for this. Let me turn down the cruise control speed, and I'm gonna put it at 16. This should actually be set from speed limit maximum. That's on maximum speed from recording, which should be 16. Okay, let me give that a go again. Of course, I got the cruise at 16, but I think I mowed it at 16. Alright, so we'll let that go. See if it misses any grass then. This grass here will be baled. Yeah, I missed it. We'll see how the rest of it goes anyways. This grass here, well yeah, of course it's going to be baled. It's going to be wrapped. Yes, the wrap is what we're going to do, so we can make silage bales. Like I said, we got plenty of hay, so don't need to do that. Oh, I'm going to have to carry this over because this is from a previous job here. So let me just get this out here so I know I won't forget about it. Yeah, so since we're down here, the factories have changed. I got it all squared away though. We're all set to go. But since we're down here, yeah, this little corner down here is going to look quite different. The winery you've already seen, but in case you didn't quite see it good yesterday in yesterday's episode, here we go. The farm winery is where the Pepsi factory used to be. It does make some beautiful grapes, and also it makes some nice wine. I don't need to transfer wine, the grapes to make wine, and all it needs is manure and wawa, which is also another term for water. So, yep, there is our beautiful little factory here. Do I have flight mode on? Yes, I do. Let's get in flight mode so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, so it definitely looks better when you're up in the air and you can see it better. Nice little mod. This is by Edwards Modding. I don't have the link right now because I've had this mod for ages and I don't have the link right now. But if you search the Wine Factory by Edwards Modding, you'll probably go ahead and find it. So over here, things are looking different. And yes, I've already tested these factories. I've saved the game, reloaded the game. Everything is fine. We do not have a bakery anymore. No, we do not. The new bakery mod I tried it, had the same problem. But this factory here does take wheat and barley and water, but instead it makes, well, if you can read the front, yeah, it makes Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, and it's already given me a good amount of whiskey this morning. Yeah, the factory has been only placed down for like an hour. I think if I go to Global Company, it's 4,000 liters an hour, so that's pretty darn good. So yeah, so wheat and barley go into here. There is a dump location there, but for some reason I don't see it. I could have placed the factory maybe too low into the ground, and over here it requires that nice little term again, wah-wah, which also means water. Here is the new sugar mill, and this is by the Snake. Once again, now this is the upgraded version of what we had, but this is not the final upgraded version. The final upgraded version of the sugar mill requires pallets. And I did not want to do a pallet factory. So this is like the version before that, where it just requires sugarcane / sugar beet, which now gets deposited on the other side of this tree, up that ramp right there. And it also needs some, yes, once again, wah-wah. It needs the water. So it's down here. So yeah, the factory does look a little bit different. I like the looks of this better than the other one. And I think the final upgraded version may look a little bit different from this as well. But, you know, for sure you would need pallets to be put somewhere. I just didn't want to put another factory down and have to transfer pallets back and forth at this time. So there's what's left of the bakery. I did remove all the bread that we put in there. The good news about this sugar mill is it holds more than 90,000 liters of sugar beet. So when I sleep through the night, it may not process at all. The other thing I am noticing, if I go into, I'm right over here. So I put 90,000 liters of sugar beet in it. And as you can see, I'm getting more. For every liter of sugar beet I put in, I'm getting more than a liter of sugar beet out. So the previous sugar factory that we had was every liter of sugar beet in, I got 1 liter of sugar. And now the ratio is, it's not quite, it might be 1.5. I'll just go with 1.5. I'm not going to do the math. It's been a long day, so I'm not going to do the math. But so for every liter of sugar beet you put in, I'm getting like 1.5 liters. But the pricing is still, I believe the pricing has not changed. If I go in here and go to sugar, yeah, the sugar is pretty much the same. What does the whiskey go for? Roughly, you're asking. Right now, the best price is 1,000. So before, with the bread, we were putting for every liter of wheat/barley we put in, we got 1 liter of bread. Same thing with the whiskey, so the ratio is the same other than the water. The bread, we hardly ever got up to 1,000. The whiskey, we are getting up to 1,000. And of course, there's the wine that we can sell. The grapes, so the grapes with the white square over at this grape right here is from the old vineyard. And you can see the prices of the grapes there right now. We're looking at low 400s to down to about low 300s. The grapes that we get from this mod, from Edwards Modding, you can see the grapes sell for 900 down to, well, we'll just say the 600s. So, and I don't, like I said, and the other way we're doing it, the grapes had to go to the winery to make wine, which made sense. But with this mod here, we're getting both. So yeah, 2 factories down to 1, and we should make more money that way. So we do have some bread. I got a little bit of sugar from that's from the old sugar factory processing. Oh yeah, I had to put the solar power plant over here because the whiskey factory is a little bit bigger than the bakery factory. So that went over to here. But yeah, I got some more wine down there I need to take care of at some point. But I'm getting factories back on this side of the border of the map, if you will. The meat factory is doing fine, and all the factories doing fine. So the factories with the global company finally all set. I had a little time to take care of it, and I did take care of it. What else is going on? I got to bring up to speed because while I was doing all that, we got field 31 weeded. Field 2930 is weeded, and apparently my worker, since he's got such the big implement going back and forth, he saw the weeds in field 33/35, so he's getting going on that. I need to get the liquid fertilizer sprayer over here and get a second stage of fertilization on that at some point. I may wait for the weeder to get caught up and ahead at some point because I don't want them crisscrossing past because they will, and then they'll get jammed together. As for the upper plateau, all the fields up here except for field number 3, which is right over here, field 20, 22, 11/12, field 4, have been harvested and reseeded. We're going to go up here in just a little while and probably get a little harvesting done while we're waiting for our courseplay worker. Yeah, so now that the courseplay worker is going at a reasonable speed, he's picking up all the grass. So now with courseplay being set, I can hire a worker to mow the field the way I usually do it. And of course the same can be said for baling. I will have to set up a second course when it comes time to do a hay harvest because the windrower is wider, so I'll have, I mean the mowing the grass is going to be the same every time, but with the windrower is a lot wider, then of course that means the swath path will be different, but it's only two different courses. Not a big deal there. So I think that brings us all up to speed. Money wise, we're down to $100,000 because I've been, refilling implements, paying off workers, all that fun stuff, and I haven't sold a darn thing. But yeah, the silage bales that we're going to be making today probably won't be sold because the price of silage is going down. Where are we here? Right here. Actually, it's going way down. It's below 150. We're at 149 and still dropping. So not the best case scenario for us. The one thing I will need to do is when we harvest the cereal crop down here, I want to take some of the straw and top off the horses. And probably grab some hay from the TMR mixer, top off. The horses need to be topped off in a couple days is what I'm saying. So we'll have to take care of that. So we're going to let our weeder go on to work. What's the speed down to? He's down to 6. I think that weeder is supposed to work at like 7, which is, you know, standard weeder. Where are the weeders on here? I should know because I looked it up on No Man's Land. It's right here. Working speed is 7, so it's not too bad. Not too bad at all, but the John Deere will get the work done. This field is very important to us. This is the cotton field, and it has the advanced seed into it. I've also brought over some more of this liquid stuff so we can keep on making some more cleaner seed. I thought I needed to buy a pallet. I bought one, went to the store. I'm like, wait a minute, did I buy 4? No, you bought extra and forgot about it. But it doesn't really go through much of this. I don't know what it's actually called. Lumigen, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, we're doing fine there. Getting a little bit low on the crop, but that's fine because I do have 52,000 liters. Anyways, what I need to do instead of just start showing around, we kind of need to get to do some work around here. So let's go up here and do a little bit of harvesting so I can get field number 3 taken care of. Usually I set this off on course play and do it, and I'm usually up here quite a bit because I don't want to say this combine harvester only holds 11,000 because as for base game equipment, 11,000 is pretty darn decent. But when you have to unload a combine harvester, I think in this field like 5 or 6 times, somewhere around there, and you're trying to do other things, it can you can get caught up on it. But the good news is now with the grass field and I finally have a course, once again, I don't know why it took me this long to do a course. That used to take me, it usually takes me about 20-25 minutes real time to mow that field. Now if I got other things to do, which this is the Pacific Northwest, I always have other things to do. It's very rare where it's like, I got nothing to do, let's speed up time and see what happens. Sometimes I speed up time just to get to, we're waiting for a price to peak so we can sell it. Which, I do quite often now because we're digging into that loan. Yes, last episode we paid off I almost said over $2 million, but it was exactly $2 million off that loan, and we're just about technically halfway through the loan payment. $27.5 million would be halfway, and we're at $27.64 million. So by the end of the day, if I can somehow muster up enough to be exactly at halfway, we might go ahead and do that. I got plenty of stuff to sell. Like I said, I got, just look anywhere. We got it. We just don't have a lot of it per se. I got some eggs, some wool, some meat. I'm pretty sure we can come up with $150,000 somewhere. But also, with paying off that much loan, I don't need that much at midnight now either. We're now down to where our loan interest is like at $76,000 at midnight, which means with all the property maintenance and paying out the horse helpers, I probably need like 80 grand at midnight. Which seems about right because when we first started with that $55 million loan, we needed $160,000 at midnight just to pay off fees. And that's what took a while to get this farm up and going. I know I talked about it before, but there's some new people here watching. And if you didn't start watching this series at the beginning, the beginning of the series, it was slow going, digging into that $55 million loan. Didn't have as many fields as we do now. I don't think we had any factories at that point either. But yeah, we had to stockpile food for the animals, so I wasn't selling much of that. The animals, we didn't have many animals of the ones we did have, so they weren't producing a lot of milk, eggs, wool, and pigs themselves. So not much income. It was pretty much the grass field which we were just in. and that cotton field right next to it that we're every 2 days harvesting those and just saving that money for at midnight paying off $160,000. And nothing was being paid off in the loan, but lately we've been rolling pretty darn good. Yeah, even the dog that just barked agreed. We're doing pretty darn good. And now I'm stockpiling all the crop from up here. Occasionally we take some of the crop from up here that we get, which is all oil seed. And sometimes the pigs need some food. Not recently, but because we just topped them off a while ago. So we stockpile this and we kind of wait for a really, really good price, which I really forget because... Why are you not harvesting? Okay, what happened here? This happens once in a while in Farming Simulator, doesn't it? I don't know if any of you run into this. I'm pretty sure you may have. And sometimes stopping the harvester and restarting it. Yeah, okay, I wasn't sure. I'm not sure. Okay, so what was I saying now? Oh yeah, we're stockpiling this stuff. I don't really sell the canola or just basic crop that often. So keeping an eye on the price to see what the high price is, it's like, I think that's a good price. So I think canola, a good price, because we do play in hard economy, I think a good price is like upper 700s. Sunflower, I really don't know. And soybean, I look for something around 1,000. Probably upper 900s. But now I definitely need to keep track of our winery now. I'll keep track of that a little bit more because it seems like that produces more than the other factories did. The sugar beet factory seems to be the same, but now I can put more sugar beet into it, which is good. And I am seeing that we have tons of sugar beet still left in the silo. And that sugar beet will be ready this afternoon-ish. Late afternoon, probably. So I may have to sell that sugar beet once again to the sugar factory. So it makes me want to, on the next time we replant that field, I may have to put a different crop in there because the last harvest and now this harvest, the sugar beet, we're going to get too much sugar beet and I'm just selling it straight up. Which is not bad, but sugar beet prices are not that great. But the thing is with sugar beet is you get so much in a harvest, that's why the price is not as good. So I'm thinking maybe we put cotton back in there. So we have, a lot of cotton for the next harvest. And by just putting off one harvest, I think I can, that sugar factory, if I keep it stocked, which should be easier now that because it holds more than 90,000 liters, it'll chew through it a little bit quicker, hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah, so as of right now, every time I go past here, I'm just basically emptying out the combine and dumping it into the trailer. Like I said, once I get far enough, I'll go ahead and maybe put this on a worker because I need to wrap those bales down there. It's not a rush to do it really, so I can kind of leave them there. The thing really is getting the grass cut, and then you can just leave the grass there if you want, if you're not playing with seasons, that is. And the grass will start regrowing, and you can just leave the grass there. You can actually, without seasons, just leave the grass there and mow the field 2 or 3 different times, and then bale it and wrap it. But man, you'll have tall swaths by then. Like I said, it's really no rush to get those wrapped up because the silage price just is not there for us at the barn. And the reason why we do this, I've had a couple questions asked why don't we sell the silage that's at the BGA to the BGA, and why are we only selling at the barn? Well, at the beginning of the series, we kind of had a contract with the barn to sell silage only there. And the silage at the BGA, that is just for the clone extraction mixer to make feed for the cows. So that's the whole thing. With a contract with the barn, we're not allowed to sell silage anywhere but at the barn. So that's where we stand there anyways. And those comments are on the older videos. Some of you had gone back and you started watching the series from episode 1. That is a lot of watching because we're on episode 134, 35-ish at this point. And we're halfway through the loan, so... But... I'm starting to think with the way things are going, this series might go up to episode probably 200 before I pay off the next half of the loan. That's where I think it's going to take us. And plus now I'm starting to do a little bit more work in between episodes. Just a little bit, not much. Like these fields up here, I let the workers go ahead while I was fooling around with the factories. I'm glad I got all the factories in a way to where we're using the same product. But I'm really glad the sugar factory worked, because I don't know what other factory I could put in that would use sugar beet. I did have one in mind, but I have to go digging for it. I think it was a potato chip factory, which would probably work even better here just because it is the Pacific Northwest, and that would kind of include Idaho. And of course, Idaho farming is kind of known for potatoes, which we kind of started here, but then when we found the sugar factory, it's like, well, we got to do sugar beet instead. Maybe in the future, maybe I might swap out the sugar factory for potato chips. I'll have to look into that. I remember seeing, it's been a while since I saw that mod, but it's in the back of my brain somewhere. I got a lot of ideas bouncing around my brain. It's kind of funny how sometimes they just bounce around just right and they kick back to your memory. It's like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that somewhere. So right now I'm just waiting for our T8 to finish up baling those bales down there. So I want to see how we did. And then of course I have to keep an eye on the John Deere weeder. Really I need to move him over to the other fields. That way I can get fertilizing our cotton field. Because I'm only running the speed at ×1, so I don't think the weeds in that field are going to grow as fast as he's moving along, but maybe. It's a pretty big darn field for sure. Right, let me go ahead and empty out the combine one more time here. Well, I should say again, not one more time. I need to do it more than one more time. And someone did mention, why not buy, with the extra cash we're having, buy more fields up here. Because I got plenty of work to do as is, so I think we're all set. And I try to keep these fields up here small, so when I try to do a video that just shows seeding or harvesting, I'd rather do it on the smaller fields up here rather than try to do a big field down there, because if I do a big field down there, it's going to be a lot of jump cuts because it would take forever. I mean, that cotton harvest in that big field down there, I don't know how many hours in real life it took. But it took a while, and that's with a modded cotton harvester. I think that thing will harvest at 12 miles an hour compared to the 6 miles an hour in-game one, so it takes a while. But I don't mind how long it takes now if I can get 7.5 modules at 40,000 liters apiece. Our next harvest will be interesting because we do have that cleaner seed in there. So on a field that size, I mean, even if it increases it like 10-15%, we're talking another 35,000 liters of cotton. If that's just at 10%, we got 300,000 liters, so it's easy math. At 10% increase, you're looking at an extra 30,000 liters of cotton. And when the price is right, we get up to almost $2,000 per 1,000 liters, so that's like an extra $60,000 off a field. So does the clean seed work? Or is it worth it? It'd be worth it if it's 10%, I would assume. I even forgot how much that clean seeder was. And I've been asked a couple times, where do you find that? That's right on the Giants mod hub. I do not look. I probably should look more often. I don't know if it's available on console or not. So so you have to look, but it's on the Giants mod of it. If you're not seeing it and you're on console, then maybe because it's not available for console. So this time when I go around, I will check on the T8 New Holland, make sure I haven't got a message that he's stuck anywhere or that he's done. So assuming he's going along just fine. Get those bales all wrapped up. I'll probably go around and collect a little bit of what he may have left behind. Just the big piles, not every little patch. I don't mind leaving little patches there because when it comes time to do hay and I ted it and windrow it, it will gather up all the droppings that we left behind through the previous grass harvest. It's kind of funny though. When I was bringing the class tractor, the Axion tractor over the seed drill. I need to slow down when I say that because some people said seed drool. No, I'm saying seed drill, but I'm saying seed drill fast. Seed drill over. I found 2 logs laying in the field because that field was harvested by the computer or the NPC. And now that the field is bare, I found 2 of the logs that came probably off the train when we tried transporting logs on the train. Yeah, that didn't work out too well for us. Or it didn't work out too well for me. Have any of you out there, and I asked this question when I did it, oh wow, we tried doing that ages ago on here. Have any of you transported logs on the train and has it worked out well for you? Because our train went from up here by the tree farm down to the lower plateau at the southern port or whatever it's called, and by the time I got down there, I think I had 1 log out of like the 20 that I put in there. And I got logs kind of scattered beside the railroad track going down. Oh, that was a mess. And I did look to see them like, is there straps for these things somewhere? Anywhere? Straps? Hello? But it feels good to get the factories all back in, so I don't have to worry about that for a while. But, you know, in another way, it's also nice that maybe the factories had that problem because now it does look a little bit different down there. And plus we got new products to sell. And it was sometimes confusing saying I got to bring this to the bakery. And it wasn't the bakery in town, it was to our bakery. I hope this is a drinking town because we're selling now wine and whiskey, so maybe they're exporting it. Making Tennessee whiskey in the Pacific Northwest. Well, I was getting rather curious with the T8 and I kind of forgot to activate stop at the last pointer trigger, so I don't know how often he's been around the field. Yeah, but now, yeah, you can stop there, dude. No, stop driver. Sorry, stop driver. Close out the course. And looking at things, he picked up the grass really well. I'm rather pleased with what he did here for work. Well done. I think even better than when he's on follow me. I think so. Just be careful. I probably shouldn't say this because my course play, I need to update course play badly. I haven't done it in a while. Yeah, I definitely need to get that done. Looks like he picked up the rest of the grass that I need to go around and pick up anyways because he was going at a regular speed. So let me go ahead and turn that off. That's always good before you try to empty it, Peanut. That usually helps out. Let's fold it up. Let's, no, that's the wrong button. Lift up that tray. I'm actually going to give this, I don't know last time I actually, if I've repaired this baler at all recently or not. Let's have a quick look at it and see what it's like and then give it a good wash. You still got the fly mode on, that's why you're hovering. Nope, not that. That's in decent condition. That's not too bad, so I'm not going to worry about that at all. Yeah, No, not the flashlight. Nope, not that. Am I close enough now? There we go. They never put a repair center and the pressure washer right next to one another because it's the same button to activate them both, so it can get a little tricky. You gotta give a good T8 a good wash. And yes, my T8 is a green color, and no, it's not a John Deere color. Really, I don't know what color it is. That might be the new Fed color. And the reason why it's green is because, well, I like green, and it's different. And that is a gift from our first farm owner. That's our gift from the owner of Ravenport. When we moved to Mercury Farms and started our own farming business, that's what he gave us for a parting gift, along with a little bit of cash for the hard work we did at Ravenport. And then when we left Mercury Farms to come over here and take control of the Pacific Northwest, we bought that tractor along with us. I was kind of curious, though, are we... Now, I didn't do all the hours in here, but yeah, the hours are piling up on that. But it's in good working condition. The baler, yes, we are done with the baler. And who shut that garage door? Well, there's only one person around here, Peanut, and it's you. Must have been you. Must have been you. I guess I can blame Frank. Frank is around here somewhere. And our wrapper is right in there. I'll grab that. Yeah, there is some equipment in here that we own that we never use. But I cannot sell that. That's part of, sort of, the challenge here. I don't want to be selling equipment. It's kind of a challenge to pay off the $55 million loan, so I don't want to be selling things to make a profit on anything. I mean, I could sell it and just take the money back out, but who knows? I may want it at some point. Let's unfold this. Looks like I got orange wrapping, which is fine. Am I going to drive over that? I'm just going to push it. I'm going to push it for now. So we'll wrap a couple bales up, and I'll get field 3 done after we end the episode. And I'll probably get Frank on seeding that field up. Now I've been told, I never tried it myself, but I've been told that the bale wrapper will not work on courseplay because it's not built in to drop the bales. And really, for sometimes how picky this bale wrapper is, yeah, see, I gotta activate the button to drop the bales. For how picky this wrapper is, it may not work well. Of course, now I got the bale stuck between me and the wrapper. There we go. We usually get 39 bales. So how many bales did we get? That's the wrong button. So was that one. Created bales, 39. Very consistent in this field. I think we talked about that last time. But we always seem to get 39 bales off the field. Maybe sometimes 40, once in a while 38. I guess all depends on how much I got left in the baler from previous baling that we do. Helper D has completed their task. Oh, that's got, I'm like, who do I got working? That's our weeder. So yeah, he made it to here, which is not bad. Since you're over here, why don't you get started on weeding the wheat field over here? Well, it's half weeds, half cotton. Not wheat. Well, there's weeds. It's all weeds. It's mostly wheat and cotton because I don't know how that worker... He went from that cotton field over to here and planted cotton down. Wow, 5 miles an hour seems so slow. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was down here doing this thing. And of course the engine shut off on me. It's all good. So we will have 39. Well, technically we have 40 bales. No, technically I will have 39 bales. We do have 40 bales in the field, but I think one's going to be straw. And one bale was left over from the hay harvest. Of course, when I was trying to make hay bales, the first bale that came out of the baler was a grass bale. And of course, if you're also wondering, these bales, and you're wondering, geez, you should have got more bales than that, right? Well, the bales that we have here are 20,000 liter bales. Yeah, they're not small bales, they're 20,000 liters. So usually when the price is decent, we get about 160 grand for these wrap bales. But with everything going on now and everything back up and running, well, the bakery and the sugar plant were always running, but now that they're there, yeah, it looks a lot different down here just because of the factory change and swaps that we did. And by getting rid of the winery at the end of the cotton field, and once I get rid of those pallets down there of wine, I won't have my workers stopping sometimes at the end of the fence because those pallets were triggering it and blocking my workers. Yeah, he picked up most of the grass, so I'm pretty pleased with it. Yeah, usually I'm following me. I think he was leaving little bits here and there, but not as much with horseplay. I should have a straw bale somewhere, right? It's going to be hard to tell because I think he may went around the field a couple times, so he pushed bales around. Yeah, he's got the straw bale ended up way down here. If I get that, well, no, I can't drive forward anymore because you're hitting a fence line. Can I? Yeah. All right. I'll have to get that all squared away. But this is a perfect time for me to jumping out of here. I am going to need to take care of our greenhouses at some point today because I think they're down to 25%. 20%. So they're good for the rest of the day, but by evening I want to go ahead and take care of them. And just that little time, we already got a good 4, 8, 12, 6. Well, I can just read the label on top. That's usually very easy, Peanut, isn't it? Yes, it is. So we got 21,000 liters of whiskey ready to be shipped out at some point. Like I said, it does hold a decent amount of water. Yes, I hear you firing up. The odd thing, which I just found out, these water tankers, I think these are the original water tankers when FS19 came out. I think they were in 17 as well. It's a one-sided trigger. I thought when I tried to pull it up to here and load my water tanker on this side of the fence, I figured that trigger would go through. It does not. I actually have to go on the other side of this fence line. So I'm actually thinking about maybe just putting like a fire hydrant. How much is that? Do I have that fire hydrant? No, I don't have. I will look for that later. I may put down a fire hydrant right here or something so I can just tap off some water instead of having to drive around to get into the gate to get into the hog pen area, because this does require. I did top this off. I think this holds 160,000 liters of water, but doesn't use that much water, it looks like. But then again, it's only been on for a couple in-game hours. 1,600. Yeah, so the sugar packets are going to be the same, but it does hold a lot more sugar beet. You do have to back up the ramp a little bit. But the Wilson trailer that I was using before, I don't think that'll work because the Wilson trailer dumps out the bottom. You pretty much need like a back dumper or back up, because I mean, trying to tip from the side, you have to pull up and, well, you understand what I'm saying. You got to go up a ramp. I guess you could landscape around it, maybe, if you could. Let me just try that. Can you landscape around this? I don't want to do it myself, but you may be wondering, it's showing that I can landscape around it. It's all green there, so you could probably raise the ground up around the ramp and make your own little drive-through. So maybe that would work. The trigger does kick on about halfway up the ramp, so the Wilson trailer, I probably could make it work if I ramped up the ground around the ramp. Ramped up the ground around the ramp. Yeah, I said it that way. Yeah, so it's working out well. Yeah, the whiskey factory does have 3 areas you can drive it, and these gates do open and close. They're not activated. If you drive up with a vehicle, they're not going to open up. You actually have to get out of the vehicle and open up the gate. I'm going to leave them open because I don't want to keep getting in and out of my vehicle to go ahead and do that. So you got one gate there, and of course you got one gate here. I haven't opened that one yet because pretty much I'm just using these two to drive around. And of course we got our meat factory back there. But yeah, by the end of today, I would like to have at least, can we get up to 300,000? That way I can technically pay off with the loan enough to get it actually below the halfway point. that would be wonderful. But I think that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. We're doing pretty darn good. These fields down here are pretty much all set. Just got to do a little weeding and fertilizing here. I'll get the rest of this field harvested, and Frank will go ahead and go around and start seeding some soybean in. And then it's just a matter of waiting for these crops to grow. And, of course, you know the routine by now. Fertilize again. They'll need to be weeded. And but I think next episode we'll be down here probably doing a cotton / sugar beet harvest. And of course that means I got to plow the sugar beet. But I think we're going to replant cotton in this field. And we have a whole cotton field in here for one cycle. Just so I can get caught up on the sugar beet in our silo down here. Can I jump in to something here? How much sugar beet do I have left? Probably too much. Yeah, I got 320,000 liters of sugar beet left. So I think I need to hold off on that for a while. Every once in a while I am keeping up on the premium potatoes as well. I shouldn't say I'm keeping up on it. I think about it once in a while. I am thinking about cutting back just to having one premium potato washer. That way I don't have to keep moving this belt back and forth, and I could just, it'd be much easier if I just got to hop here once in a while and just hit fill, unload. And because trying to get this belt moved around and get it all lined up to be in the trigger to fill up and then dump in. Same thing with that one. It just takes up a little bit too much of my time for premium potatoes as far as I'm concerned. It's an interesting little mod, but I probably won't be using it anywhere else. I don't think at this time. Of course, I say that, and then give me 3 months and I'll change my mind. But anyways, yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode as I stayed on top of a pile of potatoes. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you watching as always. And I'll catch you next time right here in the Pacific Northwest. But until then, have a good one.